Hello everyone, welcome to the Pequeno pod with Señor Pequeños. New year, new intro, same relaxed comedy. Please consider supporting us on Patreon as we are but poor lost circus performers and it helps pay for podcast equipment, editing hours, and also gets you some fun little goofy benefits. And if you choose not to, that's fine. That's fine. We'd appreciate a 5-star rating. We read comments and reviews in every episode, so enjoy this free one and have a horrible day.
Hello, it's me, just Daniel. Welcome to the episode. So the first part's going to have Allie, just me and Allie, and then the second half of the episode is going to be just me and Juliana. Nick is dead. Just kidding. He's very sick. So yeah, if you think about joining the Patreon, he could use that money to feed himself. Please help. Okay, anyway, starting the episode now. What happened to your car on the way here?
I was trying to merge on the highway, and I was well past the merge point, and was just basically on the shoulder, and was trying to merge in, but there were just like 8 semis in a line, and the right lane not getting over, and there were plenty of empty lanes.
It's like a trucker funeral.
I think so. It was like a procession. They had lights. I was the dick. A semi-profession, or just a regular one?
Semi-professional professional.
Professional.
We're autistic.
We don't know this super well.
Like the first time you find one, if no one's told you what it is before, you're like, where are all these fucking people going so slow?
No, you really don't learn about it in school.
And then you're like, oh, there's a dead person in front.
Aren't they supposed to have a flag or something?
In the front car?
I don't remember talking about it in driver's ed at all.
You're thinking of Veterans Day.
Oh, no. I didn't understand.
Welcome to the podcast. Nick is dying from bronchitis, and Juliana, she's right here. I felt bad because episode 69 was our last one. I don't know if you'd seen it.
Oh, no.
The naked episode. So we finally all were naked. Yeah.
No.
Yeah.
No.
That was not a pleasure, no.
No.
Please don't.
I didn't know what the concept was, and then you explained it.
You didn't see the thumbnail? Have I shown you the thumbnail?
No.
Hold on. This is going to be fun.
Was it just like neck up? Awesome. That's awesome.
You're just staring at Nick only. You're like, that's great.
Just his
that's
dimples.
Awesome.
Just his dimples.
I don't want to see his fucking body naked. Just his dimples.
Just the dimples naked.
Please. Yeah, no, so that was supposed to be like, everyone was like, oh, that's funny. This is gonna be a funny episode. And it was basically me, like post panic attack, like dying. So it was just so, and I was talking about me being in the ER.
Wedding?
No, but like from ER from the panic attack.
Oh, okay.
I know we've been to the ER so many
times,
you and I were like, oh, that one.
That ER.
Yeah. That, like, so the whole episode was just me, like, slunked over, like, then I just feel awful, man. So it was just so depressing. And I feel so bad. And then now I'm like, okay.
You're all just naked and depressed. Have you thought about putting this on Pornhub?
Discovery's new show. It's not it's Naked and Afraid.
Naked and Depressed.
Naked and Depressed. There's no end goal of what you're trying to accomplish. Naked and anxious.
It's just a bunch of people sitting around.
Naked and like in a ball, like rocking back and forth. I hate this.
Also known as being at the ER.
Yeah, you went to the ER. You texted me from the ER. You didn't even say, Daniel, I'm in the ER. You just said, Daniel, there's this bitch in the ER that won't.
Yes, because who goes for a sinus infection at midnight? What sinus infection is so bad that you would ever go to an ER?
To emergency
It feels
room.
like an abuse of the system.
Yeah.
And but before she walked in, so it was 2 couples that walked in. The first one, like, this is the biggest waiting room I've ever seen. There's like 3 separate wings to this waiting room.
Which ER is this?
St. Anthony's.
Okay.
Oh, I probably shouldn't.
I don't. Do you care?
I don't know.
I've mentioned all my ERs.
Well.
SMS. That's not SMS. SSM.
OSF.
Whatever. Fuck them all. I hate.
I was actually. No, I'm not gonna say that.
Yeah, because someone would want to be you with all the phone
No,
problems.
no, and I don't have. I always joke that like I leave my car unlocked because I hope someone steals it. There's no money in there. You just slammed it on the wall.
Have we ever talked about that?
I don't think so.
I think you were here for a podcast episode, and my garage.
It was probably after.
And my garage is so tight. Anyone that's listening that's been here knows. Like they either drive themselves or all like.
Garage is tight.
The garage is so tight, man. You're like, I gotta get the fuck out of here.
So fun to hang out.
And I was like, this was before I got my new car, so it was the first time of me seeing like a backup camera. So I'm parking your car for you. Yeah, I was like,
Like the
whoa,
Amish.
how can we see back
You're
there?
Amish.
Which?
From my buggy, we don't have.
So I'm backing up the car to park, and I'm like, oh, so does it beep when you get closer to the wall? And you're like, yeah, I think so. So
My old car did, and my old car did.
So we're both staring at the camera. I'm just backing up slowly, and we just full on both watch the car go into the wall.
Immediately.
And I felt so horrible. It's the first time
He
I've
was
ever,
like, I can do this. I know this garage better. I got this. And then just immediately backed it into the wall.
The audacity of men.
So then I was, my dad was looking at the hail damage because I had hail damage shortly after. And he walked around the back end of the car and like saw it. Or we were like pointing out all the hail damage. And I was like, a huge piece of hail hit it right there. And he just like looked at it and then just like moved on. Like it totally worked. Like he just didn't want to know.
Perfect.
He knew that it wasn't
so
hail,
bad.
but he did not want to know. So
I
he
felt
just
so
left
bad.
it at that.
Oh, it was terrible. But this spot next to me is so easy to get into. You can just drive straight into it. You don't have to adjust or anything. But so people will just park like dicks for no reason. The guy that used to park in that spot before me is one I complained against because he was actually in my spot and I couldn't get out of my car.
Oh.
That guy, I'm in my car, and he walks by my car, starts knocking on the window. I try to like ignore him at first. And then I have to open the window at some point.
And then he pulled out a gun.
Then I had to open it. And then I open it and he's like, sorry man, for that time I parked like that. I just had to piss real bad and I couldn't readjust. This is a guy that has like Trump tattoos in the back of his truck.
You can't go back?
Yeah, I'm like fucking...
His truck has tattoos. Truck tattoos.
It's so hard to tattoo
Really,
glass.
all those Trump stickers do really look like tramp stamps on the back
They
of trucks.
do.
Oh, yeah. So the waiting room had... I didn't know what you were asking about.
Sorry, yeah, no.
The waiting room had like 3 wings, and they had like these seats and like right next to the desk that looked like... Okay, so like chairs are all around the walls, and then in the middle there are just like these rows of like 2 seats, almost like a bus.
Yeah.
And I sat down in the first one, and this couple walks in, and out of this entire 3-wing empty waiting room, they sit right behind me. And this girl has this huge like freezer bag full of just pill bottles. Oh. And it's like all of her prescriptions, and I have like no idea why she's here, but she's in here and she's like giggling and laughing and having a good time. And I'm like, if you are so sick, don't sit behind me. And if you're not sick, why are you here? And like they called her back for triage, but then the next girl that came in went up to the desk, and her boyfriend were like laughing. And you could see like the guy sitting at the desk.
This was a fun night for the ER, except
yeah, you could see the guy sitting at the desk is just like not impressed that these people are here, and they're joking around, and she like fills out the form, and I guess she just wrote sick. Like the reason for her visit was just sick.
I don't know how to describe this.
And her boyfriend
I'm feeling sick.
goes, what, did you just write sick? You can't just write sick on the form. But at that point, the guy at the desk, the receptionist had already had the papers. And she goes, can you just write sinus infection next to the sick? And I was like, oh my God.
When you're so unsick, you can't even describe the sick you have.
I would never go anywhere for a sinus infection.
My nose is itchy. You know how crazy that would be? And if then like 20 minutes later, she came out like on a stretcher, like heart monitor, dead.
Well, I tried to
like
think.
Seizing.
I tried to think too. Like, I get it. Not everybody has like health insurance, so maybe they can't go see like a primary care doctor. And the easiest really is to go to the ER.
Yeah.
But why go at midnight? That really can't wait till the next day. Like, you just can't go
I'm
to
out of
sleep.
Kleenexes.
Well, I'm thinking. I bet this girl definitely just like, for one reason or another, could not go to work the next day. I needed a doctor's note immediately.
Fellas, is it gay to stick your finger in the O2
In
measure?
the ER penis.
Yeah. The nurse was so confused. She's like, what the hell is this guy talking
My
about?
dad says that's gay. Have you ever done an MRI?
Yeah, I've done a brain MRI and I've done a hip MRI.
Oh, a hip MRI. I was thinking HIPAA, and I was like, is that like a secret
I've
one?
done a hip MRI.
No, like HIPAA, like the patient privacy.
Yeah, I did a MRI on my lawyer. No, it was...
He's a really good lawyer.
So the MRI fluid, I didn't know this because I just had this CAT scan. Or is it CAT scan? What's the other one that's really quick? It's just like a picture. CT. And it's different.
Did you do the contrast?
But different contrast
That
than
makes you
MRI.
feel like you pee yourself?
Yeah.
Yeah.
So it scared me, but because I've
Because
had
I thought you beat yourself.
They explained it to me, and I'm just like, oh!
My mom was gonna hit me.
My dad says that's gay.
My mom's gonna hit me.
The nurse sees my pants. It's just like white. She's like, hold on. Wait a minute. No, but like, so MRI contrast I've had before, and that made me nauseous. That put me in the ER afterwards because I couldn't stop throwing up.
Did you have to drink it?
No. They give me the grimace shake. Here's your MRI contrast.
Oh, there's MRI contrast.
Right, it's different. Because I was scared to do it because I thought it was. I was like, I'm gonna get nauseous and throw up, and they said no, CT, or they just made it up to make me feel better. No, CT is different juice. This isn't the grimace shake. This is Starbucks. Like,
they just make you crack open a glow stick and drink it.
They give me like a handful of fireflies. Just
is
like,
it?
Eat them.
Eat up. Is it a universal experience to have bitten into a glow stick before? Because I feel like it is. Bitten into a glow stick?
No.
You never bit into a glow stick as a kid?
Do you know how many problems I have now? Do you know how many more I'd have if I bit into a glow stick?
I did. This is from
and
the
then you
glow
have
stick.
asthma? Yeah.
No, I'd already had asthma at that point. I had a glow stick and I was chewing on it because, like you do.
Autistic, yeah.
Maybe.
Women.
No, it was like a Halloween. Doesn't make it any better. I got it for Halloween, but like, it was like I don't know. I was chewing on it, okay?
Like you tried to explain. You're like, but the shape, it's so chewable.
It is. It's like, okay, another thing is people say like the Polly Pocket clothes they chewed on. I never chewed on those. I think I remember maybe chewing on it once, and I know what it tastes, but I didn't enjoy it. Like, people are always like, oh, I could chew on like a Polly Pocket shoe right now. Mm-hmm. I was never like that. That's crazy. But I was chewing on a glow stick. That's stupid.
What a glow stick.
And I think I was just doing it like mindlessly. I don't think I was like meaning to do it. I chewed on pens a lot. Not. It's like chewing on a pen. That's what it's like.
Right, except I'm writing with a pen.
I'm chewing on it.
Anyway,
glow stick. And I still remember it was like a yellow glow stick, and I bit into it just a little too hard. And I saw, before I knew what I had done, I saw it like spot all over the carpet. And I was like, oh, I like pulled it out of my mouth, and there was just like glow stick juice everywhere.
Oh, gross.
So I just like threw it in the trash and washed my hands and tried to wash my tongue off as best as I could.
You're like, I just washed my hands. I've
been seeing spots ever since.
I see spots on the carpet here and there. And hold on.
No, and I remember I like did everything I could to like try to scrub it out of the carpet because I didn't want to get in trouble. I think I did a pretty good job. I was really good at like carpet removal. I was like carpet removal.
I don't know if I did a good job. Dad just hasn't turned off the lights.
No, I did really good carpet steamer. That's hilarious. Because you would glow.
Right.
It's like the opposite of like using the black light in the hotel room. You just it just glows.
Anyway, welcome to the podcast. Someone texted us from Los Angeles, California, and said, I watched the entirety of Jedi Retirement Home in honor of you, Daniel. You guys didn't read my text. I'm a big fan. I will eat Daniel, Nick, and Julianne if I had a chance. I'm going to eat you guys. Okay.
Is there just like a shared understanding that these are going to be as bizarre as possible?
Yes, but there's a shared...
they all do it. It's a community.
Yeah, we're all insane, I guess.
That's fine.
The thing that scares me. Lebanon, Pennsylvania. Didn't know that was the thing. Loved it, Daniel. Please stop dying and stop giving it to Nick. Too late. He's gone. Also, fun fact, if you ever want to slash someone's tires, only slash 3 because then they can't get the insurance money.
I've heard that's not true.
Really? Because this sounds like something you would tell me.
I've heard that's not true. I used to believe that, but I've recently since heard that's not true. I can't remember
I wonder
how it's not true, but I think it's something like insurance will still cover it or something.
Did you slash 3 of your tires?
No, but I've probably had my tires slashed before.
That would make sense. Next one says, hey, so I need y'all not to die, please, because I've been using the podcast to keep myself alive at times, so please don't die. Also, I'm the person who's the unofficial podcast artist from Instagram, and once I get done with my one class this summer, I might be able to draw more. Great. Well, we're all dying, so,
I'm dying too.
Yeah, even the guests I bring on are dying, so...
He gave it to all of us.
It's the curse of me that's just slowly spreading to everybody. One from Belle Al Ree, Michigan. These are really interesting city names. When does the Peapod Army get to meet the new Empress Riley, the newest god of the now holy quartet? Never.
Oh, what?
She doesn't exist. I guess you've met her once, so yeah.
What?
Just to correct some pronunciation errors, the name of this... wow, they already knew I was going to pronounce that fucking wrong. Just to correct some pronunciation errors, the name of this town is Bel Air, pronounced Bel Air. I know that it looks weird, but the E is silent. Don't ask me why. Ask the ancient white guy who named it. I said Bel Air. Hey, y'all, just got to say that you're a blessing for us listeners and that we thank you for all your hard work and dedication to the podcast and that life has been much more enjoyable since you all started this, and we appreciate all your stories you've shared with us. That's too wholesome. That's so wholesome. What am I supposed to do with that? There's no jokes from that. Why don't you
Next
die? Anyway. Yeah, this one is more in line. This one says, I love you, Mr. D. White supremacist.
Is that why
there's
only a white person left on this now?
Yeah, we've systematically removed all the brown people from this podcast. Mm-hmm. Akron, Ohio, it says if you if you had to have been madly radioactive, would you rather have been mad or have been rad? You know, I'm just fresh out of the hospital. I can't be reading these right now. It's hurting my brain. Naperville, Illinois.
Oh my God! So your parents have money?
I've never been to Naperville.
Super rich area. The Riverwalk's cool, but also super white.
This one's from Seattle, Washington. Can I get an balls? Love you guys. Okay. Thanks. Appreciate it. Hi.
That was the best one.
Hi, Daniel. I am homosexual supporting cast. I also pass out a lot because I have an adrenaline thing that makes it so that if I have too strong emotions, I just pass out. Oh, so I'm kind of an empath.
No, that's a real thing.
Okay. Now you're being serious.
No, it's really a real thing.
I know it's a real thing. I was being a dick.
Oh.
Sorry. That's awful. Just kind of wanted to say something to y'all, so I figured this could work. Have a nice whatever.
Sorry for not wanting to shit on somebody's medical condition.
That's awful. Really, too strong emotions and you can just pass out?
I too am an empath.
Now you're on the joke. Looking at Spotify comments, because you can comment on our Spotify. The first one says, we get to see Lively's hole, ? No, it is the naked episode, but you didn't get to see that.
I don't think you saw it. Hopefully nobody's. Hopefully not.
Hopefully no one's ever seen her
Hopefully no
hole.
holes shown.
Hopefully she's a virgin.
No, yes. She's too pure.
The way that God did.
I don't want anybody to hurt her.
Okay, this got really dark. She's not here, so... Anyway.
We're still not showing anybody's holes.
Yeah. Hey y'all, car guy here, and I'm still alive, but minus my soul. I would just love to give you all money, but $5 doesn't go far. I'm also building a shrine for this trinity. Well, $5 goes far for us. The next one says, how is Julianna so muscular? I thought she was on the verge of death. I know. She's been going to the gym a lot. And the next one says, why is episode 69 the most serious one out of all of them? What is this?
Right. Yeah. You said it was not.
No, it was basically me. You can watch it on Spotify. Spotify has video, by the way, now. So if you don't have to watch it on YouTube for video. Go watch it on Spotify because that's where we get the downloads. But... you can just see me through the episode, like at the beginning, doing this, and then like by the time it's over, I'm just like
barely even on the camera. It's just the top of your head.
I'm like head in my hands, like I gotta get off.
You
guys.
should have told them about the flamingos.
I have that on the list.
You didn't tell them about.
No, we were gonna save it for this week. But that's why I waited because you were there.
Yeah.
So we can talk about it. Oh my gosh! Damn, she be jacked. Gay pride flags. Damn, she be gacked. I was concerned about how cursed my comment was, and then I saw everyone else's, and I feel better. I hope you feel better, Daniel. And Nick, you should totally watch the Magnus Archives. I don't know what the hell the Magnus Archives are.
That sounds... it's probably something you shouldn't have said.
Oh, yeah, it sounds political.
Sounds like something that would be on National Treasure.
Yeah. You scared me. I really hope all of you get better. See, this is how last episode went. We built up
That's
68,
why everything is so serious.
We built up 68 episodes of being funny, and then 69 just made everybody shit themselves, apparently. They were not naked. This was a scam, and there was no hole from Nick. Very disappointing. 0 stars and no more money for you guys. That's cute. On that note, then, yeah, we could actually get to the fucking topics of the day. Yeah, so the one thing we didn't talk about last time, so I guess I'll start, and you can then come in with what your experience was. But, so, Riley, she's not
No.
Yes, it is.
I heard it was your idea.
Whoa, no, it wasn't.
She said it was your idea.
She did not.
That
anyway.
You found it. Yes, she did. You were there.
She found the screenshot on Instagram, and she sends it to me, and I was like, oh, we should go and make it like a thing. So it was half my idea. And so I text Chelsea, I text Allie, I'm like, we're all gonna go to this special thing that Instagram popped up with, and the thing was like, we're opening the new sculpture park that's been under construction. There's gonna be sculptures, there's gonna be food trucks, there's gonna be desserts, there's gonna be music, there's gonna be flocks of flamingos.
No, it just said flamingos.
No, it definitely said flocks of flamingos.
And at that point, I was not the only person who had stopped you and said, "Are you sure there's going to be flamingos there?"
And
logistically, that doesn't sound like it's going to happen.
But I said, why would you mention flamingos at this thing if there's not going to be fucking flamingos?
Think about how much work would go into, like, the zoo bringing out a pen, and then probably have to have some water because they probably have to keep cool. How are you going to keep them all in Keener Plaza without running amok? They don't want to do that. That puts them in so much stress, and
Allie,
the zoo's better than that.
You just kick them in a cage and put them on a truck. It's
I
not that hard.
I don't think they do that.
I think they do that.
Not at the zoo. Not at the St. Louis Zoo.
Fine, not at our zoo. The other zoos.
They're good to animals. They're bad to people.
The flamingos are just chain smoking cigarettes.
Just throw people in.
So we get there. This is the first time I've collected all my friends together in like one place. So
all your friends.
All 4 of them, all 3 of them, all 2 of them technically. Cause
You're dating one of them.
Riley's doesn't count. So it was really just you and Chelsea.
I have 2 friends.
Chelsea moved to Georgia. So Allie's
to get away from him.
Right. So I've got Riley, the
and
girlfriend,
I move next week.
And Allie, the best friend. I swear to God, I will kill myself. So
I was never heard from again.
Yeah, she never gets
I'm
back
just
on the
locked
podcast
in the garage.
In my garage
downstairs.
And the storage units. So we all get to this park. It's hot as hell, and we start looking around, and there's like 2 new sculptures. One is a comb. One is a creepy little anime
Well, like you said,
thing.
the comb was already there.
No.
No, it wasn't. That was new.
That was new.
Oh. And I, like, loudly didn't understand what it was.
Yeah, you're like, what is
but
this
I was ragingly high, and so I just, like, wasn't comprehending.
So there was, like, 2 new sculptures. The live music was a radio plugged into an outlet.
There was a DJ somewhere.
Where? There was a guy named DJ.
We didn't see him.
There was just a guy named DJ that was there. Oh, this shit, I gotta be here for like
allegedly
an
a DJ.
A DJ.
DJ. Sorry.
And then the flocks of flamingos ended up being the worst garden flamingos.
I mean, no, because they weren't even... Garden flamingos makes people think of, like...
You were high. What were you saying when you saw these things?
2 pieces of styrofoam for legs with, like, a pink plastic bag holding them together as a body.
It was terrible. Yeah, I'm the one in the picture.
A lot of the legs weren't connected.
Yes, there's just a random leg
legs.
on its own. Oh, that's awful.
And they weren't real. They definitely were not real.
No. I like how you clarified that after. It's like you're adding up all these things in your head. You're like, hold on, styrofoam legs.
It looks like somebody
missing
made a
legs.
Dollar General, like a Dollar Tree craft.
Yeah.
Like somebody just
Terrible.
got all these materials and built these this morning before.
And like, it's not even like, for anyone listening, it's not like St. Louis has like, their bird is the flamingo. It's not like there's a school that has a flamingo.
No, it was just flamingos.
There's no reason why it had to be a flamingo.
And the statue that they put up,
was.
other than the comb, the other one is creepy as fuck.
That comb was looking at me funny. So then we were like, wouldn't it be funny if there was just someone on stilts in a flamingo suit? And then as we're leaving to go get drunk at Condado's, there was a dude. Was it a dude? I don't even know. There was someone.
Yes. I think consensus was yes.
Dressing up as the flamingo on stilts, pulling the mask.
But his head was part of the neck.
Yeah.
So like the neck shot out of the body of the costume and then like wrapped around and then was a mask and then he had like the head over the top.
Yeah, it was confusing.
And he was on stilts. And it was like I hope that he just like brought it. Like he just was like, this shit needs help.
He's like, we gotta step this up.
This is awful.
He's the one that brought the radio.
He's
this guy named
single-handedly
DJ
saved
isn't
it.
enough.
That is DJ.
DJ's like,
he's
I'm gonna get
DJing
paid
and
more.
he's the flamingo.
He's singing.
He's also the statue. If you go there now, it's gone.
He's just standing there like T-posed.
It was so bad.
I just love that I had all my friends there for the first time, including my girlfriend who had just met you guys for the first time. And at some point you turned around and you were like, congratulations, Daniel. This is awful. This is the worst thing you've ever invited me to. It was so funny.
But it was like, I was super grateful for it because I live for shit that is just funny. Like, that was the best thing I ever could have gone to because it was just so bad. It was funny. Like, if it would have been actual flamingos, it would not have been that cool. This was the funniest thing. Yeah, because I'd probably be sad for the flamingos. Like, they're so out of their element. This gray-ass city park area that's just all concrete and hot and depressing.
They're attacking the guy that's on stilts.
Well, and when where they're at in the park is just like that little like lake where it's just like all nice and shady. And
True.
It was the worst thing I've ever seen, and that was incredible. Especially for like a big city event, like you would think that would be
think for one of
like this is maybe something you could see at like your hometown.
I've seen small towns
For like
do better
children.
than that. Yeah. That was awful.
And if it wasn't so spread out either in such a big park, maybe all the flamingos would have been in one spot.
Yeah.
And it would have looked a little cooler, but like it was just like two sparse little flamingos over here.
There wasn't any food
A dash
either.
of flamingos
There
over
was
there.
one food truck.
There was an ice cream truck.
That was an ice cream
Wasn't
truck.
it? Yeah.
That was selling
And he
weird
probably
ice
wasn't
cream,
even like
popsicles and shit. I mean, it wasn't even good stuff.
Sorry, our popsicle's not good enough for you?
Not on an ice cream truck.
Isn't that like all that comes in an ice cream truck?
What's on an ice cream truck?
Like popsicles? Stop.
That's all I got. That's a good place to pause.
So if you don't use any of this, I won't be offended at all.
I'm using all of it. Not the coughing parts. It's just coughing. You see the episode
cut
tomorrow.
together every
cut
cough.
together all the coughs. There's just one giant cough that lasts like a minute.
Happy
and a half.
episode 70.
The episode is 2 minutes long. Like, this has to be a mistake. Is Daniel trolling us?
You're like, so Nick has bronchitis. And it's just me coughing.
It's cut together, not even like faded into the next one.
You Photoshop it on Nick, so it's just Nick coughing. I do have a man cough. It's like tuberculosis.
How you doing? How's the pipe?
It is not piping up. It's given us problems. We've had to redo it like 3 times, so I don't think it's good. My dad was cussing as he was leaving. He was like, looks like it's not working. He had to go and buy new fittings for the pipe again. This is like our 3rd time redoing it. I don't know why they don't call a plumber, but yeah, so we're doing it again, and from what it sounded like, we will have to do it once again.
Oh no. When you say you're doing something to the pipe, I've never fixed, like, what are you doing to the pipe that you've had to redo it?
The pipe burst, so it exploded in this one section. So we're replacing that section. It's like not fitting correctly onto the rest of the pipe. So when water runs through it and water runs through the house, it's constantly causing a little drip there. So we've redone it, cut the shit, fit it to the thing 3 separate times. So we've replaced it with 3 completely new pieces, which, I don't know, I think it's just a waste of money if we're doing it a 4th time now. Should have just called a plumber, and it seems like we probably will have to.
I don't know, maybe that's a positive thing that it's so bad that it's actually going to have to cause you guys to call the plumber, even though that's going to be a lot extra money. Like, before, they weren't going to. You don't think?
I don't think he will. It's because this is like what his job is, and he does shit like this all the time. And it also just makes me think, all right, no hate to my dad, and no hate
What's
to
he doing to all these houses?
And that's what I'm saying. I'm like, no hate to my dad or the building he does maintenance on. But probably the reason it's so shitty is because they just half-ass everything always. And he's always like, everything's always falling apart. Everything always needs to be redone. Well, I think it's because you never do it right 100% the first time.
No.
I'll be real. I did work there.
She's being so real. When did you work there? I don't remember that.
When I was a pharmacy technician. So when they would have to come in and do maintenance in there.
That's where your pharmaceutical work was. Okay, I didn't know that.
Yep. I would, when there'd be maintenance in there, my dad normally would be the one to go in there and fix it. And he was like, I'm going to act professional and I'm going to pretend like I don't know you because I think I'm going to have to work in the pharmacy today. So I'm going to be in there with ladders and stuff. And so it was like he walked by and I was like filling stuff and I was like, and then he just walked straight by me. Like he didn't even look at me. He was right next to me and he was like, with his ladder.
He files a sexual harassment suit against you with the HR. He's like, this woman, this whore starts waving at me from the pharmacy. I am trying to do my job.
She's trying to distract me. She's wasting company money.
He looks over at you. He looks over at you in court and is like, this is funny because like we know each other, and you're like, I hate you. He gives you a thumbs up. You're like going to prison. You're like getting chained up in the back.
Yeah, fraud. That's me. Good Lord, woman moment, dude. I like having long hair.
Woman moment on the podcast. Welcome back to Woman Moment.
I like having long hair, but man, does it fucking make you hot. It makes you so sweaty.
I was gonna say, I wonder, like on your back or like on your neck?
Yes,
oh, all
both.
of it.
The back, yeah, this whole region is very warm. It's warm.
Speaking of long hair, we just watched She's All That for the first time. Have you seen that movie?
Yes.
It sucks.
Yeah, I watched it a long time ago.
It's not good. Like, we watched it because...
like a classic rom-com or whatever?
Yeah. Like, so we were between that and, like... I forget why we were on rom-coms. I think it was for a date that we got in, like, our little book. It was like, sit down and make some s'mores and watch a rom-com. And so I was like, well, let's do 10 Things I Hate About You or She's All That.
You should watch that one. It's in Seattle.
You know, dude, everything we're watching is in Seattle lately. We watched Twilight. We watched 50 Shades of Grey.
Yeah, I was literally just talking to my friends about that like a week ago. I was like, why don't they do paintball at freaking Gasworks Park? Because in the movie they do that. And in real life they don't offer that there.
They don't?
No.
That's so weird.
Right? Huh. I was like, why in the movie are they playing paintball here? So first time I went there, I was like, where's the paintball area? There's no paintball.
They would make so much money, though. All the people that would do paintball at the same place they did Twilight.
They would try to replicate it. I was like, dude, this makes sense to me.
We should pitch this. Yeah, we should pitch this.
Yeah. There's plenty of space there.
There you go. You could manage it. That's your job. You just created a job.
I think I wanted to be a paintball manager. I feel like there'd be a lot of, like, injury, like, lawsuit type things.
You'd be dealing with a lot of men, too.
My next door neighbor, he does like paintballing with his friends all the time. I don't know why, but he's like a phone. I actually have no idea what he does. He works for one of the phone companies, but he was like, yeah, I just got back, and he was like covered in shit, and we were like, what's up? And he's like, oh, I go paintballing with my friends. And we're like, okay.
And you're like, great, but why are you covered in shit? And he's like,
yeah, why is it actual poop ball, actually? That's what it is.
I love a shit ball.
I don't know, they're from Belarus. Maybe they do stuff differently there.
I didn't know if you wanted to talk about this. I just remember seeing you don't have to if you don't want to, or we can cut it out, but like, the audio
being a bitch?
No, you're not being a bitch. You're complaining about legitimate things. I was talking about the one audio you had where you're just talking about something, and out of the background you hear like, whoo.
Oh yeah,
and then like
at the
end you pause. That. Yeah, and then you pause and you're like, oh shit, and then it goes, and then it just cuts, and we're like,
yeah, I know.
Are
then
you
I can
okay?
respond for like 10 minutes, and it's like lively respond.
We were like, it just sounded like you got attacked by a dog, and then you come back and you're like, that's literally what fucking happened, wasn't it?
Yeah, I was like, a bandit just got attacked.
It was terrible.
I was freaking the fuck out. I mean, horrible that it happened. Also crazy that I was in the middle of just yapping to you guys, and it happened. I was like, oh my god, did that record? John was like, did you record the dog attack? And I was like, no, I just happened to be yapping. Because I go on my little walks with my dog, and I'm like,
she's
all right,
such an
guys.
influencer. Her dog's getting attacked. She's like, hold on.
Hold
the microphone closer. Come on, bark a little louder.
Let me see. All right, show your teeth to the camera. Yeah, no, I was like, I get bored on my walks, and like people will stare at me, so I'm like, I'm just gonna like look like I'm talking on my phone. So I send random voice messages to Nick and Daniel all the time,
and we enjoy them. It just makes us feel sad because it's usually about awful things happening in your life.
I'm normally just like, anyways, I think the audio was like me. I was walking around a corner and I was saying something to you guys, and I was cussing while I was talking.
Yeah,
and a little kid came out of like a bush, like he fully came out of a bush, and I was cussing, and so then that scared me, and I was explaining to you guys what happened, and then I was like, a kid just came out of the and then I had to start running because a dog was chasing me.
Oh my gosh, what a jump scare. I was saying that, cussed, and a little kid literally came out of the green... Oh shit.
That was... Yeah, so it didn't get you, it got Bandit?
Yeah, it was like, so you heard in it, the dog's like,
Yeah.
I didn't really think anything of it because I thought the dog was in the house, and then the guy opened his door leading to his garage from his house, and the dog,
Oh, and the dog, so did the owner didn't do anything?
The owner didn't do anything. The dog just, sprinted past him, and he's like, Akita, bad dog. Bad dog. Like, he was in the garage, and at this point,
fully mauling a face off. He's like, oh, bad dog. That's not a good thing to do.
I was, 3 houses away and across the street, so I wasn't really even close to his house. So I had started running, and I probably ran the distance of, 1 house away with Bandit, and then Bandit, hit the brakes, and he kind of started cowering a little, and then, he was wagging his tail because he saw a dog coming, but the dog was, doing the thing where it's, lunging, and it's it's crouching on the ground,
gross.
and legs are it's full on sprinting to lunge at you, and I was like, no, and then Bandit was like, oh, cower, and then the dog's snarling at him, and then lunging at his neck, and I'm trying to pull him away, but he's just sitting there cowering, and Bandit, he gets on all fours, he's laying down on the ground. And I'm trying to pull him away, and I kind of put, one leg in between them, and I'm just kind of, screaming, no, help me, and then luckily it was a nice day, so people were outside, and they came over, and...
Oh, they did? Okay, I didn't hear that part, that other people came over. Thank goodness.
It wasn't the guy who owned the dog, it was other
I remember that part. You said he didn't do shit,
He was just yelling,
asshole.
Akita, no, bad dog. Meanwhile, I was literally screaming. I was like, no. and,
what a fucking cunt.
Trying to get it to stop, I was kind of like, hey. At it, and so then, the dog kind of stopped.
You're matching the barking.
yeah. And so then the dog kind of stopped, and then was, sniffing Bandit's butt at that point, but he's fully his tail's tucked under his body, it's inverted, going into his body. He's so uncomfortable, basically. He
sucked the tail in.
He's do not sniff my butt, I'm not your friend. And and then some dudes, it started trying to bite him again, and then some dudes came and pulled it off. Three guys came over, and they checked on me and him, and were like, are you okay? And then they dragged the dog back over to the guy's garage, and then he brought the dog in the house. And they didn't say anything. They just came over and checked on me after, and I was kind of just standing there in shock. I don't know. I guess I expected the guy to come over and say something, but he didn't. Literally. So then I was just like, I'm okay. And then I just started walking away with Bandit really fast, and was like, let's get out of here. And he was really jumpy the rest of the way home, but he's been fine ever since. I've taken him on walks.
That's good.
Pretty much every day except today, because it's too fucking hot to let him out.
It's awful. It's awful here, too.
It's 85 degrees in the house right now.
Oh,
so,
Juliana.
not good.
Oh my gosh. Fucking hell. Yeah, that's because you have all the fucking heaters downstairs, right?
Yeah, the heaters were on because the pipe was, I think I sent you a Snapchat of we were trying to stop the water and it was spraying everywhere. We were trying to dry that because, it got all over, the part we were trying to put insulation and, the wood flooring underneath. So we were just trying to dry that out so it doesn't, mold when we put shit back over it. Because my mom is trying to have a painter come over Thursday and Friday, and we still don't have that pipe fixed.
Yeah, the expensive ass Italian painter.
No, it's not even an Italian painter. It's my rich aunt, who she's Italian, but my rich aunt was like, oh, my painter was so good for this, and she recommended her to one of my other aunts, so my aunt was like, yeah, we're gonna use her. And my mom really loves keeping up appearances, which makes no sense, because if you've seen the appearance of my house, you would know that doesn't make any sense. But she wants to just say that she used the same painter as them, and tell them, I used the painter you recommended. So, Lupita is coming over tomorrow to paint the house.
Nothing.
Yeah, I don't know. She's gonna have to paint half of it. Half the room.
She's just staring at a spraying pipe, and your mom's like, go ahead, paint it.
Paint, go ahead. There's so much, dog hair all over the floor in there, because, there's we haven't been able to, like, sweep or vacuum in there because, you know, it's just, like, the bare bones of,
right.
you know, the foundation of where the floor would be. So we haven't really been cleaning it. Yeah, we haven't been keeping no upkeep. So it's dirty in there, and there's going to be dog hair everywhere, and she's going to paint, and dog hair is going to get in the paint.
No,
so my
I didn't
mom,
think about that. Oh, no.
yeah, my mom wants me to try to, like, clean up all the dog hair in there tonight, but I don't think that's going to happen because it's just kind of like exposed wood, so it's kind of like getting caught on it.
You can't sweep up dog hair from wood. Yeah, no.
Yeah, I know. I'm like, well, I'm trying. I'm doing what I can with what I got. So that's
you can't even do that with like Swiffers because it just snags, and then you're left with fuzzies everywhere.
Yeah, that's the thing. The snagging with I don't know how to clean it. I'm gonna just try to use the vacuum like nozzle.
Yeah, vacuum,
thing.
I guess.
Yeah, I'm just that's my best option. So, how's Daniel been?
Yeah, it's been okay. The whole saga of the health thing continues. So it was like October, December was like 4 or 5 different things. January was like the big sick, and then that started Epstein-Barr in February. That went to April, and then this stuff's now been happening. Yeah, then the ER, the passing out, and so. The passing out caused panic attacks, which caused shock. So we took care of the shock. We got medicine for the panic attacks, so that took care of the panic attacks. So now we're left with like, I'm glad.
Did they ever get the results from your like EKG?
So I had that heart monitor that was stuck to me for 2 weeks. My chest is so irritated because taking that off was awful.
Did you have to rip off all your body hair?
Well, like, even though they gave you, like, a wipe to, like, get the adhesive to disappear, like, it still pulled out all the hair. They had to shave it anyway. I mean, and it's... still,
they did?
I mean, they did, but 2 weeks, I mean, it grows back underneath the sticker.
Body hair growth. Whoa, natural.
So, like, when I took it off, like, it's all irritated. There's, like, zits in just that spot. Like, it's so gross, dude. It sucks.
No.
So, I just got a text that I mailed those in, and they just said, okay, the results are in. Like, we're going to evaluate them, and we'll let you know. So, don't know from that. But there was definitely so many times I was hitting that button. Like, you're supposed to hit it whenever you have, like, a panic attack whenever you're like start shaking.
Oh, and it monitors that? Like it tracks
so basically, it's like the way I'm assuming it is they get one giant sheet of all my heart activity for 2 weeks, but then they see the button pushes so they know like what statistically to look at, so they don't have to look at everything. Yeah, so there was like a bunch of times. Or to see
if there's like an irregularity that happens when you're experiencing that. Yeah, that makes sense.
Right, exactly. Because they want to see if it's actually skipping a beat or like if your heart rate does spike or if you just feel like it does. So what I'm assuming is that there's no irregular heartbeats, even though that's what it feels like, because it genuinely feels like you're dying. But that was just the panic attack part. But like, I still, like, I got done with the ER originally, and they told me I was like, they're like, we checked all these things and you're fine. And I was like, but what made me feel like passing out? They're like, So
nothing.
Yeah. So,
I hate when doctors are like, well, nothing makes sense. It must be in your head. And it's like, well, I'm sorry that in my head makes poo-poo come out of my ass and barf come out of my mouth as well.
Yeah, that's gotta be so much worse for you, like, as a woman. Yeah, but, like, so...
Oh, no, that's not what I mean. I just mean when your body has, like... You have a bodily reaction to something when they're like, this is a mental thing. And you're like, well... How do I stop it? And they're like, well, when you feel it happening, and then you're like, well, you see mine, it's instant. When the onset happens, I immediately have symptoms. So
exactly. Like it's a physical reaction. It's not a stress reaction. Like, it's just like it's already happening, but before I know what's going on. So
so you're like, I can't use any of my little coping breathing mechanisms because I'm already pooping. It's too late.
So like they started to kind of make me feel like I must have just gotten in my head with the whole thing, because I was like, maybe I wasn't passing out. Maybe I just thought I was. But like then it kept happening and it kept getting worse. So I was like, okay, didn't make it up. So that's a good thing. I still do know my body. Bad thing, I am still almost passing out all the time, which again,
I saw one of the comments from the podcast, somebody saying they have a condition where they start feeling faint when they have like too high of emotions or something. I don't remember what they said it was.
Yeah,
or
no.
what
I know which
caused
one
it.
you're talking about because I was
But
going
that
to read
was
some of the fan
interesting.
mails from you. I think it's... Oh, never mind. This is not the one I thought. There's one from
You're
Bel
like,
Air,
that was
Michigan.
my OnlyFans. Oi.
No. There's one that came in that I thought was what you were talking about, but this one says, sorry for the spam, but I have to add one more additional thing. When will we get to meet Abby? Daniel just showed her boobly eyes on TikTok recently, and I got to have a conversation with her through TikTok comments, asking if she would be interested in an appearance on the podcast, and she said she would be interested but nervous, but please look it up. I think it would be fun. She seems to match the silly, goofy chaos energy that you all
love
give
Abby.
off. I like how he's pitching Abby to me as if I don't know
We don't
her.
know this girl. Never heard of him.
Who's this weird ass? And Abby and I were talking about this, and we were like, as if you could sit still for a fucking hour and a half. She's like, yeah, no, that ain't happening. But,
You know what? You just need to stick a GoPro like to her head, like one of the ones where it's like facing them.
Yeah, like tag her like a fucking
Yeah, yeah.
manatee and watch her
Yeah,
like go
yeah.
around. So funny.
She'd
Anyway,
actually just be out with other birds. That would
she
actually.
would. She's barefoot all the time and is just out in the wild, and then she'll come back and eat ice cream. And she's not real.
Have her on, and do that.
That's so funny. I should get our GoPro for that. Anyway, so to answer your question, but there was still the passing out issue. And so the doctors were like, maybe it's vasovagal syncope, which from the symptoms of that, you know what that is? So yeah, for
No,
anyone
I
who
don't.
doesn't. Oh, you don't? So that's more like a physical stress trigger causes a drop in blood pressure and for you to faint. So examples of that would be like if you're the kind of person that sees blood and you pass out, or what's happened to me a few times with blood work is they're digging around for the vein and it stresses you out and you drop in blood pressure, you feel like you're going to pass out. But that's like
Makes
caused by a
sense.
trigger, and this stuff was caused by nothing. I was
Yeah.
just sitting at the table. So I didn't think that's what it was.
Yeah.
Then it kept happening, and we thought, okay, maybe orthostatic hypertension, which is like the more common variation of POTS. But then more stuff happened, and we think it actually is POTS. POTS is not only less likely, but also is like way more prevalent in women. And like I looked up,
Yeah, I was thinking that.
why is it mostly in women? And the Google's like,
period.
researchers don't know.
I assume it's the same reason women have low iron, which they don't have an answer to, but women naturally have lower iron levels. And that's
So
also,
do
I guess,
yeah.
blood. Yeah. I feel like that makes sense.
And they did list like one of the triggers for POTS in women, being like really bad, like period
Heavy.
cramps and stuff like that,
Yeah.
heavy flow and all that. But so it does happen in men, and they don't, anyway. But so the difference between the two, like one of the main differences is that in POTS, you actually do have your heart rate that just rises for no reason, along with the blood pressure drop, and that's what I'm getting. And
That's interesting.
It got to the
I don't know
point-
very much about it.
Me neither.
Like-
I'm starting to learn a little bit about it because one of my good friends online, like Vixen, has POTS. And I always heard like symptoms here and there, but then like I sent her a message and I was like, all right, give me the rundown because I think this is what I have now. But like, so what it means is like, so Sunday was, I think, like a fully developed episode of POTS, which I've never had this before, but
When you were like
not-
bedridden?
I couldn't get up. I was so tired. I mean, I've been exhausted before from the disease and disease exhaustion, all that. But like, I physically, not like I was like, oh, I'm tired. It was just like I couldn't pick
Well,
up
that's
my
also
arms.
okay.
Like picking up my arms, I couldn't do it. And I
You just
would
didn't
try to
have the
get up a
energy.
few times. I like physically couldn't sit up even if I tried. Like it was just, I didn't have it in me. And I've never been so weak in my life. And I was just like that all day. I was in bed
It's
all day, and I
terrible.
couldn't even sleep half the time, which sucked because I was like focused on my heart rate and stuff.
It just makes you more paranoid.
Right. So, and that's what sucks now is when I go to bed, I'm having all these fucking like trauma triggers now. Like,
Oh boy,
I can't-
bed. Time for me to overthink.
that's what happens now. I didn't used to do that, but now it's like I can't go to bed without hearing something that distracts me from my fucking heartbeat. It sucks. I don't know how to make it stop. So it's
You use a white noise machine or anything like that?
I do, but it's still not enough. It's like I need like TV going or some plot to like keep my head turning.
I need big noise.
like
Bigger
this sounds
noise.
like this sounds well, and like in the panic attack anxiety is helping, or the medicine is helping with that anyway. So I'm not having panic attacks, but I'm having the pre-anxiety attack, like the overthinking that can sometimes lead into it. So like I was at the gym the other day, like trying to do the gym. and it was difficult anyway because just this stuff, whatever it is, it's just making you so exhausted, feel like you're going to pass out.
Yeah.
And I start like over focusing on my heartbeat, and it's starting to
like,
make me
am
feel
I
weird.
okay? Am I sick? Am I
Right.
going to pass out? That sucks.
Exactly. That's where I'm at now. And so, but what helped was I played some video on YouTube, and I was just repeating everything that they said after they said it, like I was acting out what they were saying, and that helped me get rid of it. But I'm like, this is so ridiculous. I'm just doing weird shit at this point just to fucking like function
And that's
like a
hard
normal
in
human
public.
being.
Yeah.
Yeah, it's hard to do in public because you look fucking stupid. So yeah.
Hey, Mary. Hey, Sue. How you doing? Oh, I'm good. And they're like, oh. This guy's yelling with his megaphone. This is for my health condition, okay? All right?
I promise. So, well, you had another update, didn't you? I
don't know, what have I been up to?
You said you had your not echocardiogram. Your you wish. No, you had ultrasound, the neck ultrasound.
Yeah. They haven't not got back to me yet, and they're supposed to. That was so not
like
last
a week or
Wednesday,
two ago.
but yeah, the Wednesday before. So they said expect your results in 5 to 10 business days. Yeah, right. It's been over that now, so I don't know. I didn't think there was anything wrong. Like it didn't look out of the ordinary, but I also don't really know what like an ultrasound thyroid picture should look like. I don't know. I turned over and I was like, yeah,
You're just looking at the thyroid. You're like, that looks right.
Yeah, I was like, it looks like the little butterfly thing. I see it. That's right. There it is. Yeah, did I tell you when my mom was like freaking crying after? I was like, what? She was like, I was joking because like my friend, him and his girlfriend are having a baby, and they had like their ultrasound on the same day. But I was like, wow, 2 totally different ultrasounds, huh? And like when the person had me turn over, I looked at it and I wanted to say like, there's my baby, like as a joke, because she was like turned to the right, and then I didn't want to say it because she was going to town, rubbing on my neck. But like I was like, yeah. I mean, they kind of do. They dig in there, man.
They really do. They?
Yeah, they do. I mean, I assume they also do for pregnancy. They rub quite a bit all over, but yeah, they push pretty hard down. They put a lot of pressure on there with the thing.
Well, and so and I've got my heart. I got echocardiogram tomorrow, which is a heart ultrasound. So that's what they're going to be doing, but right here. So they're just going to be like stabbing me.
Oh boy! Yeah, so there you go. That's what you have to look forward to. It's not too uncomfortable, but they put the gel on. It's super warm. They're like, it will be warm. It's like hot. I was like, oh, hello.
I didn't know that.
I don't know how they keep it so warm. They must keep it on just like a little heater thing or something, but it comes out super warm.
He just pulls it out of his balls. You're like, wait a minute.
Let me tell you, as a lady with a uterus, I have in fact had a pap smear done, and the gel they use is very cold, and the instruments they use for that are very cold. So I was like, why don't they use... Seems like it's like a similar gel, right? Why wouldn't they just heat it? Yeah, I was like, why wouldn't they just warm it like they do for that? Doesn't that make a little more sense? I don't know.
You bring your own like s'mores flame. You're like, hold on, I'm going to warm this up a little bit before we start. And they're like, excuse me.
This is just my preferred goo, please. I mean, my aunt, like a few months ago, she was like, oh, can you come with me to get gas? Like we were leaving an event, and she's like, I'm gonna have you stay in the car while I get gas just because I don't want to go alone. And I was like, oh, you don't have to worry, because she was saying like, I don't want any homeless to get me or anything like that, right? And I was like, oh, you don't have to worry about them. They're not here in the cold months. They're not gonna be out. And then little did I know, a block away from there, a week later, one of my family friends got shot. So I guess it was good that she came with me. So
oh my gosh.
Yeah.
What the fuck? That's crazy.
Absolutely terrible. Did I say that on here?
You probably did, but I just didn't, like, you've not talked about it in the context of that series of events.
Yeah, it was literally a week after that, so...
That's wild.
Really, really sad. She was a grandparent of, like, one of the Boy Scouts, and, so, like, she's the lady who helped organize John's Eagle Scout project. Super nice woman.
Yeah.
So nice. They shot her in front of her freaking special needs granddaughter, like 12-year-old granddaughter, and she takes care of her, and the girl didn't have, like, a cell phone or anything, and so, like, she was just screaming, and luckily a manager of a store came out because he heard screaming, and that guy called 911, and they were able to perform life-saving, shit on her, and she was fine.
She's fine? I didn't hear that. I thought she died.
No, she actually didn't die. Actually crazy. They,
wow, this is such a happy story then.
I know. I mean, actually,
Wow.
yes. Actually, but for real though, we did not expect her to make the recovery she did, because I think they shot her 3 times. So, from close range.
Oh, I thought you meant the doctors did, and I was like, well, that would kind of hamper the life-saving support.
They're like, never mind, reverse it.
Try again.
Give her 2 more and pass it on to the next guy.
Dr. House. He's just like, we gotta shoot this lady, actually.
Yeah, this will shock her system and make her stronger.
She's having anti-lead poisoning. She needs more lead in her system.
She needs more lead now, immediately.
Shoot her in the fucking face. Oh my gosh, that's wow. Well, for a minute there, I thought this was like the worst story we've ever told on the podcast. So I'm so glad she fucking recovered. Holy shit!
Yes, yeah. She was at the bank, and she was just using the ATM because the bank was closed. So she was just using the, the one you walk up to, and yeah, they just came up and point blank, like they were trying to pull her purse away from her, and she was like, I don't have any money in here, because she was, withdrawing money from the bank. And then, yeah, they struggled for the purse, and then I think they shot her in the shoulder and the stomach and maybe the chest. I'm not sure on that, but yeah. Once they shot her while trying to get the purse, I think it was in the shoulder, and then when she was down was when they shot her again. So, but fucked up. Fucked up,
no
man.
Kidding. That's the whole shit of the Batman treatment.
In my little suburban town, I'm like, what is this? Should have gone to the richer town, one town over, and then you would have actually got somebody with money.
I was gonna say.
You picked the wrong area, so.
Oh, jeez.
Shake my head.
Sorry,
depressing, but in the end,
she lived, so that's not depressing.
She lived, and there's some justice, so don't worry, everyone.
Speaking of crime, this isn't even part of the podcast, but just while I have you, well, I guess we'll keep it in for the patrons. So become a patron, please. And
you want to hear about some crime?
You can hear some extra stuff. No. But so I just today, finally, I was like, I need to write my draft for the stand-up show that I'm doing. In a week or two, like 3 weeks, 2 weeks. So yeah, it's gonna suck. But anyway, so I did a first draft, and I still have to pick it apart and change things. But I wanted to kind of show you draft just to see what your thoughts were. So I might send you and Nick a recording of it.
Oh yes.
But I kind of ended up pulling something kind of like what you just said, but not like that fucking dark. But
hey everybody. My name's Señor Pequeños. You want to hear about people dying?
Yeah. No, I had a bit in there about. Anyway, I was gonna start it by talking a little bit about. I can just give it to you if you want. I just hate reciting stuff. It seems so performative.
Well, you don't have to do that now.
But
you can give me a bullet. I can. You want to hear it?
It's only 4 minutes. I may as well.
Sure.
Nah, I can send you a video or something. but.
Okay, yeah, that's easier for me to critique instead of live
right.
being
instead of being like, wow, this sucks. Actually, go back to that. That was bad.
I'm just making stink face the whole time. Ugh. Oh my gosh, I went to the Mariners game the other day, and so when I worked there, it was like every time the camera pointed to a kid, they would always be flossing. They'd always be doing like the...
We just talked about this, actually. Yeah. Thank God people aren't flossing anymore.
So they're all flossing. But no, you know what? I kind of miss that wholesomeness, because now every time a camera points to like a 5-year-old, they're like...
Ew,
and start mewing.
They really?
And it's
gross.
It bugs me, because they're 4 or 5 years old, you know, like maybe 6. They're little kids mewing, and I'm like... Man, it's just not funny. At least do your little flossy dance for the camera. Like, I think that's way better. I think now I'm reminiscing about the flossing days. I used to think it was really cringe. The cringe Fortnite emoting days. Honestly, bring them back. That was better. That's better than the little kids trying to mog on MFs all around them. I'm like, get this out of here. I don't need children doing this. Also, George Lopez was there. Saw that man again.
Of course he is. He follows you around like tragedy. It's just so sad.
I know. Always. He's always around.
He's been the coordinator of your entire life of shit. It's all been George Lopez.
He's planning my downfall. I know no one died this time though, so.
Yeah, that's good. Wait, so that was the same area?
No. So
okay,
like
thank goodness.
When I saw him, I was in LA. Remember?
Right,
I was like,
you were driving with your cousins.
So like a man on a motorcycle got fully just beamed, man. Somebody just trucked him. It was bad.
I remember.
In my mind, I want to say he lived. Okay, he was totally limp.
There ain't no way
when people were trying to lift him up. But in my mind, they were able to help him recover, okay? I just want to tell myself that to sleep better at night so I didn't have to watch a man get obliterated. But yeah, this time he was just at the game. The camera just like panned to him and they were like, hey, comedian George Lopez. And I was like, what is this man here? No one died. I just got stuck on the train for like 2 hours. That was the worst part.
That's fun. Ugh.
And it wasn't because someone got hit by the train, because that happened to my parents. When they were on the train one time,
your parents got hit by the train.
No, people were like, "What's the hold up?" Like after the Seahawks
they got
game.
creamed, yeah.
And it was like somebody got hit on the tracks, and they were having to like clean.
That's
them.
the same thing that happened at Amtrak once. That they stopped. Do you remember me telling you that they stopped the train? They were like, the train in front of us just hit a truck that was sitting on the track, so we're gonna have to wait for them to clean it off. And we were all like, oh no, that's probably going to take like hours, right?
Yeah.
We were gone in like 15, 17 minutes. Wow. They scraped those bodies off and just like keep moving. Oh my gosh.
That makes me wonder how often that happens. That's horrible.
In Illinois, it does happen often apparently because all of these train tracks go through intersections that are in the middle of fucking nowhere. Yeah, in the middle of just cornfields. 30 miles from civilization, and there's just a truck that got broken down and someone left it, so they'll just fucking ram it.
Oh, terrible. Yeah. I mean, I told you that one time I was on the light rail when, like, a tractor caught on fire on the track or whatever.
Yeah,
and
what the fuck? He told me that.
Yeah, and then me and Alvin they were like, oh, take this, like, bus, like, detour, and then our bus got aimed at with a gun, and the guy was, like, trying to shoot people. That was a wild one.
That is wild.
At least I got that on video of the guy trying to shoot people.
Did you send that to us?
Yeah, I'll send it again.
I'm sorry. I guess I missed that.
I didn't film it when he was like aiming at our bus because I was too scared. But then as soon as he was aiming it at other people, I started recording.
You were like, "Hold on, I got this now."
Our bus had to slam on the brakes because he was just standing in the crosswalk, and then he was like holding us at gunpoint basically, and the bus driver was like, and then I told you some guy with a sign was like, the power of Christ compels you, like with like a Jesus sign, was like yelling at the guy. He's like a foot away from a man with a gun, and he's just yelling at him with his Jesus sign, and he's like, "Get out of here! Get out!"
He just gets shot in the chest. He's like, "No, right? Demon!"
Get out, foul demon.
If it wasn't you telling this story, I would say it's made up because it's just insane.
I have a video of it, so I'll send you that one. I mean, it's blurry and shitty, but if you know the context, you'll see it. You'll see the man with the sign just being like a foot away from a gun. No fear in his eyes. He's like, "Get out! Get out!"
I don't remember that at all. That's crazy. I would have remembered that if I saw that. That's crazy.
No, it's a good one.
Do you remember the video that I sent you guys that I was just walking at the arch one night, like a little bit too late, a little bit later than I normally do?
Late.
A little
arch
late.
After hours.
It's dark, and there were people sitting over on the steps in front of the arch, so I start filming, like, just like, we're the only ones out here.
Oh,
and then that dude it was the cops,
tackled.
and the dude gets full on tackled. I was like, oh.
That was a good one. You were like, uh-oh, what's going on? And then you're like, oh, and then he starts running.
So funny.
What's going on here? Oh.
Oh. Anyway, I won't keep us too long because it's hot in your room and it's hot in my room and it's late and you've probably got to clean the wood. So
I'll read I gotta clean wood.
And by cleaning wood, I mean my peanuts.
Uh-huh.
Anyway.
Time to polish that shit. Woo! I don't know.
Speaking of racism, did you see that American Airlines booted all these, like, every black person off the airplane for being smelly? And then they fucking went back and sued American Airlines. I'm not making this up.
I didn't.
Crazy. So what happened was there was some foul odor on the plane, and so the flight attendant comes through, systematically picks out all of the black people on the plane, kicks them off the plane. They all get off the plane and then realize, oh, hey, we're all black. So they start fighting with the fucking flight people, and they're like, you can't just kick us off for being black. And the rest of the flight people are like, this is true. This looks bad. I don't know why they kicked you off. So then they put them back on the plane, but they just said, obviously, that's fucking embarrassing. And everyone else on the plane is fucking white, and they're scared of them now because they're letting all the... It just looked so bad, and oh my gosh. And anyway, so it
That's
started
just confusing. If I were on the plane and it was like they pulled people out and then they brought people back on, I'm like, should I be concerned? Like, that are these people a threat?
Yeah,
but
so old people were concerned and young people were confused because, like, I think everyone else noticed. They're like, hold on, that was all the black people on the plane.
I mean, I doubt they were going through and saying, hey, we're picking out stinky people. They probably were just like, hey, come with me. So you have no context of what's happening. But
yeah, anyway, but so that flight attendants like got fired, I think, because they were being racist. But like they said, it wasn't even like they were sitting together. None of them knew each other. They were just like spread, diversely through the flight. So this dude literally just
it was kind of terrible.
He was going, you. Like, he wasn't about the smell or anything. Anyway, so then
there's a woman who like fully shit down the entire aisle of a plane and didn't get kicked off.
But what's amazing to me is it's not the first time that's happened with American Airlines, that the NAACP used to designate them as a racist airline.
Oh,
and like warn people because they had
that you wouldn't fly
recommend
with
that
them
you don't take them because they had so many incidents, and eventually they got lifted because American Airlines said like, oh, we changed our training to include not racist shit. Like, but apparently it's back. That's just crazy to me. You're fucking handing out sandwiches and drinks. What do you have to be racist about? I don't get it. It's crazy. I don't know. Wild.
I just don't understand the logic of who was just like, we're gonna pull out the stinkiest individuals. Like there haven't been stinky people on a plane before. You're telling me never happened?
Well, it's even more racist that not only did they take all the black people and kick them off for no reason, but like that the flight attendant literally was like, who probably is causing the smell on the plane? Mm-hmm. Black people. Like
that's what I'm saying. That's what I'm saying. I'm like, there's no way there haven't been like stinky feet just out. Isn't that like a common thing
all
where
the time.
people pop them dogs out? You know, they take their shoes off in the plane, right? I guarantee I've seen the memes where it's like somebody's foot is dangling over someone else's chair and it's like the full on dirty gangly toenails, like, it looks like they just walked through straight up poo-poo, and then and then the person's like, this just gave me the biggest jump scare of my life, and it's that giant foot sitting next to them. Like, that person doesn't get kicked off the plane? No way. No way.
Anyway, back to our patron notes. This one's from Spooky Dis. Here's my patron notes. My podcast note. Howdy, ye old podcast trio.
Howdy.
Or double. I've been getting Daniel's old Venom TikToks due to the Venom 3 trailer, and I was curious what movies you guys were all hyped for that were coming up. That's a good question. I need to look at like the slate of stuff coming out. I know Wolverine and Deadpool's coming out. That sounds fun.
What do you think about there being another Moana?
Well, there's two. There's Moana 2, and they're making the live-action Moana.
They're making a live-action one already?
Oh, yeah.
Oh, yeah,
baby. I fucking hate Disney with every fucking... Here's a question I've got for you while we're on this topic. Have you started watching the new Disney Star Wars show?
I haven't. I've seen a lot of discourse online about it.
Yeah, unfortunately got the whole, like, conservative, woke... Blah, blah,
that's the thing, though. I've seen people on both sides of it where it's like liberals hate that they're manipulating the Force, and conservatives hate that they're using the Force to make women pregnant with other women. And I'm like, what is going on? And everyone's like, everyone hates it. And I'm like, I don't know. I've seen some people say they liked it, so I don't know. I know a lot of people are mad, like from all basically all different walks of life are mad about something different in it. And I'm like, do you think they did this to just have a conversation
100%.
about it?
Yeah.
Because
right? that's my thing. It's like if they have a story that they want to do. Here's my thing on it. I've only watched 2 episodes so far, and it was boring. I think there's nothing that stands out about the show. I didn't hate it. I didn't like it. It just was fucking nothing. It was yawn. And if anything, it was cheesy. It was like a soap opera. Anyway,
it's just a soap opera set in the Star Wars universe.
Yeah, their whole twist was like, ooh, she's got a twin. I'm like, you mean the oldest fucking plot twist in the history of movies? Oh. Good for you guys. It's fucking stupid. So, but like people, yeah. So, I mean, but like if you have your story you want to do, you can even set it in, I don't know. It's just, it seems like someone pitched a story to Disney about like a space story and they were like, okay, but how can we cram it into some IP? And so it just seems like it's made by people that want to like disrupt the Star Wars thing, but it's like, I don't understand why you get a kick out of like, why do you feel the need to change that stuff? Why not just make your own space story? I know, shocking. Right? Like, just do your own thing, and then you don't have all these people. Yeah, you can't get the Disney money. You can't get
the existing fandom.
So
that makes. I know why they do it, but I'm also like, wouldn't it just make more sense to do your own thing? Honestly, just like milking it more, and adding all these things to this shit. It just I don't know. I feel like it's making like OG fans who like, you know, I don't want to even say traditional aspects of it, because like a lot of these people like the newer movies too. Yeah. But I don't know. It's kind of like just the continuation of it is something with it makes a, I don't know, flaw somewhere, and they're like, this makes it not make sense. This makes it not. And I'm like, why would you? Why would you want to do something that, you know you have fans who are diehard fans who like that chronological aspect of it, and they like that shit flows like that. So if you mess with that upsets those people. Those are like their most diehard fans. So I don't know.
Yeah, so it's like it seems. I think the non-toxic fans that don't like it are just like, it's like when you watch something that is made by people that clearly don't love it. They just don't like it, and it just is not enjoyable to watch because there's no joy. And so it's like their whole shtick for this show is like, what if the Jedi were actually like manipulative liars? And it's like, I don't really want to watch that, to be honest. I kind of just want there to be a good guy. I want make the bad guys the bad guy. Like it's. I mean, that's kind of like, you know, Clone Wars is really good. That show kind of shows the end of the show. That's why like Anakin is turning bad. The show shows why it makes sense why he goes down the route of like, why am I being gaslit? Maybe the Jedi are evil to me, you know, like that whole like very dramatic stuff. Because like in the movies, it's like a very drastic change. Right. In the Clone Wars, it's like, here's what happened between them that would make him question the logics. Because it's like, all right, the Jedi, nothing is like black and white, obviously. They are honest, they're peacekeepers, and so they do have a lot of political reasoning behind what they're doing, who they're siding with, who they're fighting for. So you're never going to make everyone happy, and you are ultimately in war going to be killing innocent good people. So, and I think that's enough conversation. There's so much you can be had in that, because that's such a fascinating thing to me. But like in this one, in this show, it seems more like it's not like the conversation around peacekeeping. It's literally just like, oh, they full on like killed innocent people because they wanted to. That's interesting. That's certainly a way to go. Like, see, that doesn't happen in this. It's like in Clone Wars, it's like, well, these people are bad because they live on this planet, and then it's like, no, they're innocent people who live there too. And you know, Ahsoka's like, hold on, I'm seeing both sides. I think I'm going to leave the Jedi Order. And then because she's questioning stuff, you know, people try to, like, accuse her of doing shit she didn't do, right? And so that's why she leaves. Ahsoka, very interesting character. I watched that show. I feel like it was really boring. Really boring. And they did not do her character justice. I was so pissed off that the person that she's, like, supposed to be training basically sacrifices the entire galaxy for that one dude who the explicit reason that he left was to save people. And then when she finally meets up with them, they're just like, hey, what's up, bro? Like, that's just it. I'm like, you went through all this and you're just kind of like, ha, and then you kind of go off on your own. I'm like, that's
Yeah, and then they
that
get stuck
sucks.
there. That's just
Yep.
how it ends. Is it's like, all right, now they're stuck there, and I'm like, I mean, I honestly think Book of Boba Fett was worse, shockingly, and so that. It's just like cramming all these things into the Star Wars universe, man. Like, I want to watch these things because I like Star Wars and I'm a big Star Wars nerd, blah blah blah. But I can't.
Right.
I can't. That's why I wanted.
I can't.
That's why I wanted to get into this show, but I'm like, I just don't even want to start it and end up getting mad at it or whatever.
Right.
Cause
That's
I'm
where
like,
I'm at. This is the first Disney show, Star Wars, that I'm not gonna fucking finish because I just don't care. Which is too
I
bad
think
because the
that's where
main
I'm at.
actress is like, she's good. She's the one from The Hate You Give, like when she was a
yeah,
kid.
yeah. What's her name? Amanda.
Stenling or something.
Something like that. Yeah. She's been in other stuff. I think she was Rue in the Hunger Games when she was a kid.
Yeah, she was too. Well, and like she's getting attacked to hell because not only is she a woman, but she's black, and they keep like
She's also queer.
Yeah, and the conservatives are bringing so much. They brought up an interview that she did for The Hate You Give, where she's very clearly a child, and they're acting it like she gave this interview now. And in the interview, she says something like, "The point of the movie is to like make white people cry," but like she elaborates on it. She's like. But she elaborates on it. She's like, we want to show enough that you feel empathy and that you are seeing a side of the story that you don't usually see, and you feel bad and you cry. Like, that's not a bad thing. So even the interview that they're trying to clip is like not a bad interview at all. And it's just, it sucks. I feel so bad for her. But
I know the guy from Squid Game is also in it. That was honestly...
okay.
I was thinking about watching it just because of that, and then I heard all this stuff online and was like, now I'm scared.
Yeah.
I don't know if I'm even looking
worth
forward to movies right now. Like, I'm trying to think of what's coming out. Maybe Wicked, because I really like
True.
Wicked itself.
Upcoming
I'm interested to see what they're doing with it.
Venom 3, again, there's like there's some like blockbuster fun IP ones that I'm looking forward to, but yeah, in terms of like, Talk to Me,
Venom
like the next
content. Woo!
Yeah, the next movie by the guys that made Talk to Me is coming out soon. That's going to be something I'm looking forward to.
I saw somebody also said they watched your entire Jedi retirement home saga.
Yeah.
I was like, wow, that's impressive. There were like almost 200 or something.
There was 100. 200's a bit much. Okay, I wasn't that freaky.
That's a bit much. I wasn't that. I didn't stick brooms on my ass that many times, man.
Yeah, hell no. But
I don't know. I felt like there were so many.
Yeah, there's like Venom 3. There's the new Joker. There's Deadpool versus Wolverine.
Joker! Oh my god!
You're looking forward to that.
I guess that is upcoming now. It's coming in the fall. Yeah. That one. I'll be seeing it for my birthday.
Next note. Hopefully it doesn't get to you too late. It did not. But if it does, I'm not worried about it. These people are so nice. It's summer, so just curious on what's the hottest place you all have ever been to. I currently work in Death Valley. I have been since 2018, and the usual dead heat of summer hovers around 120 to 125. But it's been cool so far this year.
During that?
It's been cool so far this year at about 118. That's cool. That's
nice
wild.
and chilly willy.
I didn't know you could work in Death Valley.
When they went to Cambodia, it was like the whole time they were there, I think the average was like 113, he said, or something like that, and the lowest it got was 107, and that was like middle of the night. And I was like, that was like spring. What's it like in the summer? Like,
yeah, my grandma was teaching in Thailand for years and years and years, and like it's a humid 110 like in the summer.
Yeah, he said.
So she comes here and
like
it's like 70, 89. And she's like in a coat. We're like, oh, what a freak.
I mean, my family, they live in Utah, and they are the Mormons from Salt Lake City. Yes, so they would come and visit here, and like they would visit in the fall because like right before the school year would start, they would often come. This is when our families were closer, and they were like wearing jackets. And to John and I, it was like still summer. School hadn't started for us. It was summer weather. It was like September is still summer here. Honestly, end of September or start of September. It's still pretty warm. So I was like, well, it's 75 degrees. And they had like goosebumps when we went outside. And
That's
I was like,
ridiculous.
Whoa.
Honestly, the hottest place I've been to is where I fucking lived. Like in the summer, in like the early fall, like is when cross country would start, which I don't know why the hell I did that sport. Peer pressure. But But like it would get so hot in the afternoons that we wouldn't do practices in the afternoons. We'd have to do it in the mornings at like 5 a.m. and it would still be like 80 to 90 degrees. And it like and then during I think the hottest it ever got was probably 110, 115, 120 somewhere in there. It gets
Is
hot
it even
in Illinois.
safe to do races like that?
No.
Yeah,
No.
that's what I'm saying. They want kids passing out.
And they keep doing it because of this weird high school coach mentality of like, don't be a pussy. But it's
Well,
like
you gotta do
there was a race that got canceled because it was so hot, and the first race that happened, people were passing out left and right, and some girl like needed like medical attention, so the ambulance went back and forth 8 times, and this is a course in the middle of fucking nowhere. 8 times the ambulance went back and forth. Yeah,
That makes me feel
these are high
bad
school
for these kids.
Yeah.
Oh, because like you know they do want to give it their best shot, so they're just like killing themselves out there. Oh, that's so sad.
And so because the girls' race is always before the guys, we thought we got off easy. We're like, oh, we're not gonna do the race. And coach was like, if they had to, you have to. So we were the only school left there. We were the only school left there, and we had to run we didn't run obviously as fast as we would have in a race because we were fucking sweating our asses off.
Yeah,
but we still ran it because we had to. It was so funny.
That's terrible.
Our coach was good, but everyone else's was weird. Anyway, so that's the answer.
I guess hottest place I went was Vegas. I think, yeah. I mean, I went to Hawaii, but it was like kind of off season and it was rainy like half the time we were there. So honestly, the weather was perfectly cool to me. And well, to me, it felt warm because it was like more humid than here. And I thought it was nice as hell there. I didn't go when it was overly hot or anything, but when I went to Vegas, I forget what time of the year it was. I think maybe like late spring, mid-spring, but yeah, it was like 105.
Ugh. Next note from Retroscriptor. When I first got my face piercings, I had my friend Sam with me. I begged him to join me and get an eyebrow or ear pierced, but with his ADD, he would fidget with it constantly, which is a big no-no when getting them healed properly. He stood by while I talked about the amazing piercer. I laid down, opening and closing my hand to motion Sam towards me and to squeeze the life out of it. Would any of you get your face piercings or tattoos? If so, what would you get?
A face
and who
tattoo?
would you bring for emotional support? Would any of you get face piercings or tattoos? So tattoos anywhere, but and then face
anywhere?
piercings. Yeah, and if so, what would you get and what would you? I would not know what I would get, but yeah, I consider getting tattoos and like face piercings in the sense of like ear. I'm not gonna do anything else.
Ear. I don't even have my ears pierced, so I can't even talk. I always kind of wanted to get my eyebrow pierced, but my eyebrows grow so fast and like the shape changes so much that I won't want to have to deal with that.
You do have really good distinct eyebrows, so maybe that's fair.
Maybe a nose piercing, because one of my cousins, like, she got one. Because we got big honkers, right? And she's like, I thought it makes it look more feminine. What? Yeah, so I thought about getting one because of that, but then I was like, no, now it looks like I'm gonna copy her. Because like I had the same logic. I was like, like that'd make my big schnoz look a little more girly, right? And then she said the same thing, and I was like, never mind, I'm not doing that. And then I thought of getting like a boomerang on my either thigh or ankle in honor of my dog Boomer. And then it would say like tutto torna, which is like everything returns in Italian. Just because.
That's cool. That's cute.
Yeah.
Last note from Dawn. Quick question for the pod. Would you rather have unlimited bacon but no games, or unlimited games but no games? Sorry. What? Quick question. Would you rather have unlimited
game on your phone?
Unlimited bacon but no games, or no bacon but all games? I'd rather have no bacon. I kind of went without bacon for a while. It's not that big a deal.
I mean, I know so many people who are either like obsessed with bacon or they hate it.
Yeah, everyone commented on the comments of last episode that they were like, why is she so strong? I thought she was dying of health stuff. How is she so muscly? So,
I've been working hard.
So everyone recognized your hard work.
Oh my god, did you hear my shirt?
Out again.
My shirt.
Did it really?
Did you hear?
No. That's crazy.
Oh my god.
Wow.
Yeah, these These are getting, like, too big, though. I don't like that.
No, they're not. No, they're not. Shut the
No,
fuck
they're
up.
not. No, they're not. I mean, proportionally,
not.
I guess. It's like,
No, fuck you. Shut
I
up.
flex and I'm like,
No, shut up. It does not. It looks good. Shut up.
I'll get to muscle mommy status where it can be big here, but then I'll also be big here, so it doesn't look out of proportion. Someday.
I gotta get back in the gym so bad. Right now I'm so depressed because it's like I keep trying and things keep preventing me. It's fucking, I'm just about had it.
All right.
Well, have a good night.
You too.
Love
Tell
you.
Riley happy
Goodbye.
birthday.
I will. Thanks for remembering.
Yes. Bye.
Bye.